Welcome back to the course on soil mechanics. So in the last class, we were discussing about the different soil classification system. So we have understood what is meant by soil classification system, what is the necessity of soil classification system, and what are the different soil classification systems based on which we'll be classifying the soil, where we started talking about a unified soil classification system, where we have discussed in detail about how do we classify the soil based on unified soil classification system. And in today's class, we'll be mainly focusing on what is called as Indian Standard Soil Classification System. And as I've already told, like apart from this unified soil classification system and Indian Standard Soil Classification System, you also have various other soil classification systems that do exist. And as what we are going to be referring to in this particular course, we would be mainly focusing only on unified soil classification system and subsequently the Indian Standard Soil Classification System, which is a derivative of your derivative from your unified soil classification system only. So coming to your Indian Standard Soil Classification System, whatever we are going to be talking about in this soil classification system is as similar to that of what we have talked about in our unified soil classification system. Everything more or less remains the same, just apart from in the case of your classification of fine grained soil, what we get from your plasticity chart. Okay. So there we are going to be understanding the subclassification of your fine grained soil based on your plasticity chart. We are going to be slightly deviating from what we have understood from unified soil classification system. So nothing much deviating, but in the case of unified soil classification system, we were referring to that of your plasticity chart with respect to liquid limit values greater than 50% categorized as highly compressible or highly plastic. Less than 50% liquid limit value was referring to that of your low compressible or low plastic. But when it comes to your Indian Standard Soil Classification System, we are going to be introducing another subclassification in that plasticity chart based on the liquid limit value. If liquid limit is greater than 50, we still consider it as highly plastic or highly compressible, even according to the Indian Standard Soil Classification System. But however, if the liquid limit is in between 35 to 50, we categorize that particular soil as intermediate plastic or intermediate compressible, and liquid limit less than 35 is what we categorize it as low compressible or low plastic. Apart from that, everything, all the discussion, the symbols what we use, how the nomenclatures are to be given, everything remains the same as like what we have discussed in our unified soil classification system. So to start with, we understand what is meant by a coarse grained soil and we understand what is meant by fine grained soil depending on the proportion of that particular particles that are existing, percentage of the proportion of particles that are existing in the given soil. In case if the percentage finds in that particular given soil, if it is less than 50%, it means that the percentage of your coarse grained particles in that particular soil is greater than 50%. Such soil we are calling it as coarse grained soil. And if the percentage finds in that particular soil is greater than 50%, we call it as your fine grained soil. And when it comes to your Indian Standard Soil Classification System, the soil is classified into what is called as 18 groups. When it was the case of your Unified Soil Classification System, the soil was classified into your 15 groups. But in Indian Standard Soil Classification System, the soil is classified into 18 groups. What are those additional 3 groups which we are coming into picture? It is nothing but with respect to that of your intermediate plastic condition. That's nothing but intermediate compressible or intermediate plastic clay, intermediate compressible or intermediate plastic silt, and intermediate compressible or intermediate plastic organic soil. These are those 3 additional terms which are additional groupings that we are going to be coming across when we are talking about the classification of the soil based on Indian Standard Soil Classification System. So apart from that, everything whatever we have talked about remains the same. Each group is designated by a symbol consisting of 2 letters, where the first letter would be mainly referring to that of main type of soil, what exists in that particular soil. And the second letter would be based on what is gradation and subsequently the plasticity chart. So gravel indicated by the notation G, sand indicated by the notation S, silt indicated by the notation M, clay indicated by the notation C, and if it is poorly graded, we indicate it by P, well graded, we indicate it with W, And when it comes to your fine grained soil, particularly the first letter refers to your silt or clay or organic soil. When it comes to your second letter, what we get from your plasticity chart. So depending on the liquid limit value, if it is greater than 50, we call it as highly plastic. In between 35 to 50 liquid limit values, we call it as intermediate plastic, and less than 35 liquid limit, then less than 35% of liquid limit, we call it as low plastic. And coming to the coarse grained group symbols, everything what we have touched upon earlier remains the same, because the coarse grained classification is not getting changed at all. Only change in this classification system is with respect to the plasticity chart, what we come across when you are subcategorizing what is called as a fine grained soil. So the same symbols what we are going to be using in the case of your coarse grained soil. And coming to your fine grained soil, these three symbols already what we have seen, and these symbols already we have seen, and these are those three additional symbols which were coming into picture. And CI indicates it is intermediate compressible clay, MI indicates intermediate compressible silt, OI indicates intermediate compressible organic soil. These are those three additional soil groups which we are coming across in this Indian Standard Soil Classification System, which totally gives you what is called as 18 subgroups of your soil classification. So what are those 18 subgroups of the soil classification? So they are nothing but your well-graded sand, poorly graded sand, well-graded gravel, poorly graded gravel, silty sand, clayey sand, your silty gravel, and clayey gravel. These are your 8 groups under your coarse grained soil. How it is, if the major proportion is a coarse grained particle, okay, in the given soil. So these are your 8 groups into which that particular soil can be categorized depending on the percentage of different proportions of the soil. And coming with respect to your fine grained soil, if the major proportion in that particular soil is a fine grained particle, that means if the percentage finer particles passing through your 75 micron sieve is greater than 50% in that particular soil, then we majorly the first symbol what we get started is with respect to its fine grained proportion. Okay, so when it comes to the major proportion of fine grained particles, so according to Indian Standard Soil Classification System, we are going to have 10 groups into which that particular fine grained soil can be categorized into. In the case of coarse grain, it is 8 groups into what it can be categorized. In the case of fine grain, it can be 10 groups into which this particular fine grained soil can be classified into, depending on the different cases. Like if the data point what we are looking at falls above the A line or below the A line, depending on the liquid limit value of that soil, if it is greater than 50% or in between 35 to 50% or less than 50%, depending on that, we get your corresponding grouping or the classification of that particular soil. And coming to the understanding of how the nomenclatures are to be given in the case of your coarse grained soils, okay, where within that coarse grained soil also, if the major proportion is a gravelly soil, so already we have seen in detail, like, okay, your first symbol is going to be indicated, first letter is going to be indicated with gravel notation, that is G, and in order to understand what should be the second letter, so we subsequently understand what is going to be your second letter. That depends on the percentage finer particles that are existing in that particular soil. If the percentage finer is less than 5%, then we say there is no influence of that fine grained particles to dictate the behavior of that particular major proportion of the coarse grained particles that are existing in the soil. In case if the percentage finer is greater than 12%, we said yes, though the particles is something 12, 13, 15% of fine grained particles are still there in the soil, though the major proportion is again the coarse grained particle, but however that smaller percentage of fine grained particles, like maybe 12 or 20 or 25% of fine grained particles, are still going to be dictating, or rather it also will be influencing the behavior of your soil, whatever we are looking at. Okay. And in case if the percentage of finer particles passing through 75 microns is in between 5 to 12%, so there is no clear evidence that whether the behavior of the soil would be only governed by what is called as a coarse grain proportion, or whether it is going to be governed by what is called as your both coarse grain as well as your fine grain proportion. So in such particular case, we are using a dual symbol notation to indicate your second letter for giving the symbol representation for that particular soil. So the same is in the case of your sandy soil. And coming to your fine grain soil, so if the liquid limit, if the major proportion in that particular soil is a fine grain soil, then your first symbol and as well as your second symbol also goes by your fine grain soil classification understanding only. So first letter comes from with whether it is a silt or clay or organic. That depends on whether the data point what we are locating on your plasticity chart falls below the A line or falls above the A line. So depending on that, the first letter we will be getting. And subsequently, whether the second letter for the symbol what we are going to be getting comes from your liquid limit range of that particular soil. Whether that liquid limit is greater than 50% or in between 35 to 50% or less than 35%. In case the liquid limit is less than 35%, the second letter what we are going to be using is indicated by your capital L. Capital L indicates it is your low compressible or low plastic. Okay, so low plastic, if the point falls below the A line, it can be low plastic silt or low plastic organic soil. If it falls above the A line, you call it as your low plastic low compressible clay. So likewise, if the liquid limit is in between 35 to 50%, then the symbol second letter what we are going to be using has to indicate your intermediate compressible or intermediate plastic soil. Okay, so I is going to be the notation what we are going to be using in such case. And if the liquid limit is greater than 50%, your second letter what we are going to be using to indicate for your soil will be represented by capital H. Capital H indicates it is highly compressible or highly plastic. If the point falls below the A line, it could be highly plastic silt or highly plastic organic soil, or if it falls on or above your A line, we call it as your highly plastic clay. So that's how you categorize your soil. And we have also seen what is called as peat soil or PT soil, so which is nothing but a highly organic soil. What is that we are coming across is what is generally called as PT soil. So this is a plasticity chart. This is a reference to your liquid limit value 50. If the liquid limit value what you are looking at, if it is greater than 50%, then that particular subcategorization is what we call it as highly plastic or highly compressible. If the liquid limit is in between 35 to 50%, okay, this refers to 35%. 35 to 50%, we categorize that particular soil as intermediate plastic, and for the liquid limit values less than 35, we categorize it as low compressible or low plastic. Okay, so let's look at some of those examples which gives us some idea about how do we plot the grain size distribution curve, which we have already talked upon. Okay, this particular example in the earlier lectures also I just introduced it, but we have not discussed in detail of how to solve it. So let's have a glance at how do we solve this to get a plotting of your grain size distribution curve, from which I can get your CU and CC values, based on which I can go on to classify that particular soil if required. Or I can also, by looking at your grain size distribution curve, I can also go on to understand how much proportions of, what is the percentage of your so-called gravel particles existing in the soil, or maybe your sandy particles that are existing in the soil, or maybe your percentage of fine grain particles existing in the soil. So if at all we require, we can go on to understand. So let's look at this particular data. Let's say I have conducted some mechanical analysis. So it's given that a sample of a dry coarse grained soil of mass 500 grams was shaken through a nest of sieves, and the following results were obtained from that particular mechanical analysis or your dry sieve analysis. So you have used different sieves So sieve number of 4, 10, 20, 40, 100, 200 and a pan at the bottom to collect any fine grained particles that are passing through your 75 microns. So you are using a collecting pan at the bottom of those set of sieves. And in that pan also, if at all there are some fine grained particles existing in the dry mass of your coarse grained particles, so fine grained particles will pass through that 75 microns and gets collected in your pan. So you have used different sieves of sieve numbers 4, 10, 20, 40, 100, 200. And sieve number 4 refers to that of the sieve having a sieve opening of 4.75 mm. It means whatever the particles that gets retained on that 4.75 mm is obviously called as your gravel particles. And all those particles passing through that 4.75 mm can be either called as sand or your fine grained particles. And sieve number referring to 10 is nothing but it has got a sieve opening of 2 mm. Sieve number with 20 indicates the sieve opening of 0.85 mm. Sieve number with 40 indicates a sieve opening of 0.425 mm. And sieve number 100 indicates a sieve opening of 0.15 mm. And sieve number 200 indicates a sieve opening of 0.075 mm. That is nothing but your 75 micron sieve. Okay. So what we have obtained after carrying out that mechanical analysis is certain particles were getting retained on some set of sieves. So we have removed those individual sieves and we have measured the weight of all those particles which are getting retained on those individual sieves. So mass of the particles which got retained out of that 500 grams of the soil, mass of the particles which got retained on your 4.75 mm sieve is 0. It means that you don't have any gravel particles existing in that soil. And on your 2 mm sieve, 14.8 grams of soil was getting retained. On your 0.85 mm sieve, 98 grams of soil was getting retained. And on your 0.425 mm sieve, that's nothing but 425 micron sieve, you have 90.1 gram of soil getting retained. And on your 15 micron sieve, 150 micron sieve, you have 181.9 grams of soil getting retained. On your 75 micron sieve, you have 108.8 grams of soil getting retained. And on the pan also, there were some fine grained particles existing in that coarse grained soil mass. So you had some 6.1 grams of fine grained particles which were passing through your 75 microns and which got collected in that particular pan what you have used at the bottom of the set of sieves. So with this information, I will go on to understand what is your percentage finer data with respect to each of that sieve size opening what we have. So sieve number 4 means it is nothing but a sieve size corresponding to 4.75 mm. And sieve number sieve number 10, okay, refers to what is called as sieve opening of 2 mm. And likewise, this is 0.85 mm, if I am correct. Yeah. Next is 0.425 mm. Okay. Next is 0.15 mm. And the next is 0.075 mm. And for different sieve sizes, you know what is the mass of the soil particles that were getting retained on each of that sieve. And now what I am going to be calculating is, out of that total percentage of the soil grains, how much percentage of the soil grains were getting retained on each of the sieve. So that's the third column data what we are indicating. Percentage retained on each sieve. Now how do I calculate percentage retained on each sieve? So percentage retained on each sieve is nothing but it is equal to mass of, or rather I'll indicate percentage retained is equal to mass retained divided by total mass. So mass of the particles which were getting retained on each of that sieve divided by total mass into 100. Okay, so I can multiply it with 100 to get what is the percentage of your particles which were getting retained on each of your sieve. So how much is the mass of the soil which was getting retained on my 4.75 mm sieve size? Mass of the soil is 0. So 0 by total mass of the soil, what we have considered is 500 grams. So 0 by 500 into 100 gives you what is nothing but 0. So percentage of particles that were getting retained on your first sieve is nothing but 0. Next, what is the percentage of particles that were getting retained on your sieve size 2 mm? So that's nothing but 14.8 grams of soil was getting retained on your second sieve. 14.8 divided by 500 into 100. So 14.8 divided by 500 into 100 approximately gives you what is called as 3%, which means the percentage out of the 100% of the particles what is used in that mechanical sieve analysis. So 3% of the particles were getting retained on your 2 mm sieve size. Likewise, coming to your third sieve, what is used? We understand that 98 grams of the soil was getting retained on your third sieve. So percentage of particles getting retained on the third sieve is nothing but 98 by 500 into 100. So which gives you what is called as 19.6% of the particles were getting retained on your third sieve. And likewise on the fourth sieve, 18% of the particles are getting retained. Fifth sieve, 36.4% of the particles were getting retained. Sixth sieve, we have 21.8% of the particles getting retained. On the pan also, you have 6.1 grams of the soil which is getting collected. So percentage of particles which are finer than your 75 microns is nothing but it is equal to 6.1 is the mass of the particles got collected in that, divided by 500 grams is the total mass what you have considered, into 100 gives you what is called as your 1.2% of the particles are finer than your 75 micron sieve. So having understood what is the percentage of particles which are getting retained on each of that particular sieve, then let's go on to understand what is your cumulative percentage of particles which are getting retained over and above that particular sieve. So what is your cumulative? Cumulative is nothing but summation. So over and above first sieve, what is the percentage of particles what we are getting retained? It's nothing but on first sieve, the percentage of particles getting retained was 0. So over and above that first sieve is nothing but it is only your 0% of the particles that are getting retained. So coming to your second sieve, over and above that second sieve, what is the percentage of particles that are getting retained? That's nothing but on the first sieve it is 0 plus on the second sieve it is 3. So total it is nothing but 3% of 3% of particles are getting retained on the sieves over and above your 2 mm. Likewise, till the third sieve, how much percentage of the particles are getting retained? That's nothing but percentage of the particles which were getting retained on your first sieve 0, second sieve 3, plus third sieve is nothing but 19.6. So total comes out to be 22.6% of the particles are getting retained till your third sieve. Likewise, till the fourth sieve, it is nothing but till the third sieve, the percentage of particles getting retained are 22.6, plus on the fourth sieve, percentage of particles additionally getting retained are 18%. So total it comes out to be 40.6% of particles are getting retained till your fourth sieve. Likewise, fifth sieve, sixth sieve, and to your pan. Now, once we understand what are your cumulative percentage of the particles that are getting retained, then I can go on to understand what is my percentage finer particles with respect to each of that particular sieve. So how much percentage of the particles in that total soil mass, how much percentage of the particles are finer than that particular sieve size. So how do we calculate the percentage finer data? So percentage finer is nothing but it is equal to 100% minus cumulative percentage retained on that sieve. Okay, so our instead of saying on that sieve, I can just simply say cumulative percentage retained with respect to that particular sieve, till that particular sieve, how much percentage cumulative percentage of the grains which were getting retained. Okay, so let's go on to understand what is the percentage finer with respect to your first sieve. So my percentage finer data with respect to the first sieve of size 4.75 mm. So in the given soil, what we have understood is there is no particle which is getting retained on your 4.75 mm. In the sense, there is no gravel particle existing in that particular soil. So obviously, all those soil grains, whatever you have placed on your first sieve, are passing through your first sieve. So it means that percentage finer, the percentage finer with respect to your first sieve is nothing but 100% minus the percentage of your particles that were getting retained with respect to this particular cumulative percentage of particles which were getting retained till this first sieve. So cumulative percentage of particles retained till this first sieve is nothing but 0. So 100 minus 0 is 100. So out of the given total soil, all the grains of the particles are finer than your 4.75 mm. It means that the percentage finer data with respect to 4.75 mm sieve size is 100%. And next, with respect to your second sieve, what is the percentage finer? How much percentage of the particles are finer than your 2 mm sieve at 2 mm opening? So it's nothing but 100 minus the cumulative percentage of the particles that are getting retained up to your 2 mm sieve size. So it's nothing but 100 minus 3, which is equal to 97% of the particles are finer than your 2 mm size. Likewise, how much percentage of the particles in the given soil are finer than your 0.85 mm size? So it's nothing but 100 minus the cumulative percentage of the particles that are getting retained up to your 0.85 mm sieve size. So 100 minus 22.6 gives you 77.4% of the particles are finer than your 0.85 mm sieve size. Likewise, 59.4% of the particles, if you go on to calculate, 59.4% of the particles are finer than your 425 micron sieve, and 23% of the particles out of the total quantity of the soil, 23% of the particles are finer than your 150 micron sieve size, and 1.2% of the particles are finer than your 75 micron sieve size. So once we know the percentage finer data with respect to the different sieve sizes or sieve openings, then you can go on to plot the graph on a semi-log graph sheet where percentage finer data is indicated on the vertical axis and your sieve size or sieve opening on a logarithmic axis is represented on the horizontal axis. So with that information, when we are going to be plotting a graph, let's say we are getting a graph like this. And that curve, what we are going to be getting here is what we are calling it as your grain size distribution curve. Okay, this curve, what we have got is nothing but we call it as your grain size distribution curve. And from this grain size distribution curve, I can go on to determine what is your D10 value of the soil, D30 value of the soil, and D60 value of the soil. So how do I get that? So we go to your 60% finer value and we extend that point onto your curve. Wherever that point intersects on the curve, that point is going to be projected onto the horizontal axis, which defines you what is called as the D60 value of that particular soil. Likewise, for 30% finer, we extend that point onto the curve, and wherever it intersects on the horizontal axis, and that value is what we call it as D30. And likewise, for 10% finer particles, what is the corresponding size? So it's nothing but we call it as your D10 value of that particular soil. So having known the D10, D30 and D60 values, you can go on to calculate what is called as your uniformity coefficient and your coefficient of curvature. So based on your uniformity coefficient and coefficient of curvature, we can go on to classify this particular soil. And in the problem, it is said that we are required to classify this particular soil according to unified soil classification system. So from this curve, from this graph, I can calculate D10, D30 and D60. And once the D10, D30, D60 values are known, then we can go on to calculate your CU, which is given as ratio of D60 by D10, and CC, which is given as the ratio of D30 square by D10 into D60. So upon knowing your CU and CC values, we can go on to classify this particular of particles that are existing. Okay. So what is the percentage of particles referring to that of the gravel in this soil? So we didn't had any percentage of the particles which are getting retained over and above your 4.75 mm sieve. So percentage of gravel particles in this soil is nothing but it is equal to 0. And what we had is 1.2% of the particles are finer than your 75 microns. It means that your in that particular given soil, only 1.2% of the particles are fine-grained particles. And the remaining, whatever we had, 100 minus 1.2, which is nothing but 98.8% of the particles are your sand particles. And even with respect to that sand also, you can try to subcategorize that as your fine sand or medium coarse sand or your coarse sand, depending on the size of the particles. And with respect to that range of the sizes, how much percentage of the particles are getting retained is what we can understand. And based on that, you will be able to say, okay, this much percentage of the coarse sand particles are there, or medium coarse sand particles are there, or your fine sand particles are there. Out of that 98.8% of sand particles, how much is the percentage of coarse sand particles, how much is the percentage of medium coarse sand particles, and how much is the percentage of your fine sand particles existing in that soil. So that's how you can go on to use of this particular data in calculating the percentage of different proportion of soil grains existing in the soil. And we'll also be able to understand how to classify this particular soil depending on the CU and the CC data what we get from this grain size distribution curve. So let's say the CU, whatever we are calculating, is coming out to be 4.5, and the CC value what we are getting is 0.75, which says that as we don't have any gravelly particles existing in this particular soil, because though the major proportion is a coarse grained soil, and within that coarse grained soil, 98.8% of the particles of that total soil mass is your sandy soil. It means that your first symbol is to be indicated with your first letter in that symbol notation to be indicated by your letter S, that is sand. And the second letter is going to be followed depending on how much is the percentage of finer particles existing in that soil. Percentage of finer particles is 1.2%, which is less than your 5%. It means that your second letter comes from your gradation curve. So from the gradation curve, what is that we are going to be getting as a second letter? It is either a well graded or poorly graded. Now, when do I get it as a well graded? Sand to be called as a well graded only when you can say your soil, sandy soil as a well graded sand, if your CU value is greater than 6 and CC has to be in between 1 and 3. Neither your CU is greater than 6 or neither your CC is in between 1 and 3. So you call this particular soil as poorly graded sand. So that's how you classify this particular soil. So let's go on to solve another problem, another example. Using the grain size distribution curve shown below, determine the uniformity coefficient Cu and the coefficient of curvature Cc and classify the soil as per your unified soil classification system. In the same way, let's say you are given already with the grain size distribution curve. Earlier, we were trying to get that grain size distribution curve, and from that grain size distribution curve, we went on to calculate your Cu and Cc values, and based on that, we subsequently calculated or we have classified your soil according to, let's say, unified soil classification system, or in the same way according to the Indian standard soil classification system also, you will be getting that soil in the example 1 as your poorly graded sand only. Now case 2, that's example 2, in which we are required to look at this grain size distribution curve what is given below, and we are required to determine the uniformity coefficient and coefficient of curvature and classify the soil as per your unified soil classification system. The procedure, everything remains the same as like what we have discussed. So from that grain size distribution curve, we go on to determine what is your D10, D30 and D60 values. So based on the D10, D30 and D60 values, we are going to be understanding what is going to be your Cu value, what is going to be your Cc value. Okay, and from that particular grain size distribution curve, if we go on to understand with respect to 4.75 mm sieve, okay, 4.75 mm sieve means this is 1 mm, 2 mm, 3 mm, 4, and this is something around 4.75 mm. So approximately what we get is with respect to 4.75 mm sieve is 97% of the particles are finer than that particular 4.75 mm. It means that 3% of the particles are getting retained on your 4.75 mm. So retained on 4.75 mm sieve, that means sieve number 4 is approximately around 3%. So percentage of the particles getting retained on your 4 number sieve is nothing but it is 3%. That is what we understand from this particular graph. And what, Cu is what we can get from this ratio of D60 by D10. Cc, what we get is, get it as the ratio of D30 square by D10 into D60. So Cu is what we are getting it as 6.67 and Cc is what we are getting it as 0.74. Okay. Now let me look at this grain size distribution curve. the percentage of the particles corresponding to gravel is only 3%. And however, out of this total quantity of the soil, this is with respect to your 200 sieve number. Okay. So finer than this 200 sieve, we don't have any particles. So all those particles that are existing with respect to which the grain size distribution curve is plotted is for your coarse grain particles only. And in that coarse grain particles also, only 3% of the particles refers to that of the gravel particles. It means the remaining 97% approximately of the particles refers to your sand. So major proportion or complete proportion is coarse grain, and in that complete proportion also, the major proportion within that coarse grain particles is your sand. So your first in that particular grouping symbol, whatever you are going to be using, the first letter comes with respect to your sand. Now what I need to understand is whether this particular sand is a well graded sand or a poorly graded sand. So that I am going to be understanding based on your Cu and Cc values. So Cu is greater than 6.67 and the Cc value is in between 0.74. So in order to call that sand as a well graded, both your Cu has to be greater than 6 and Cc also should be in between 1 and 3, 1 to 3. In between 1 to 3, your Cc value has to be. If in case neither the Cu is satisfied or the Cc is satisfied or not, both of them are not satisfied. So in such case, we call that particular soil to be poorly graded and it is a sand. So it is a poorly graded sand. So that's how we go on to classify your soil. So another example, let's say example number 3, where some information is given with respect to your percentage finer data and as well as your liquid limit and plastic limit data of that particular soil is also given. Laboratory tests were performed on a light brown sandy soil which visually has several pieces of gravel particles larger than 6 mm, indicated that the plastic limit value of that particular soil is 22.6% and liquid limit value of that particular soil is 33.2%. You are required to classify this particular soil using your unified soil classification system, where the percentage of particles passing through your 4-number sieve. 4-number sieve means it is 4.75 mm sieve size. 40 mm sieve means it is 0.425 mm sieve size. And 200-number sieve means it is 0.075 mm sieve size. Okay. So with respect to each of that sieve size, how much percentage of the particles are finer than that particular sieve size is what is given to you. That data is given. Liquid limit, plastic limit data is also given to you. And based on this information, we are required to classify your soil. Okay. So let us first understand, in that given soil, how much percentage of the particles are coarse grain particles and how much percentage of the particles are your fine grain particles. So percentage of coarse grain. So my percentage of coarse grain particles is nothing but 100%. Out of that 100% of the soil grains, how much percentage of the particles are finer than your 28.5 mm, percentage of particles which are finer than your 75 micron sieve. Percentage of particles finer than your 75 micron sieve is 28.5%. So it means your percentage of fine grain particles in that soil is 28.5%. So the remaining particles are obviously your coarse grain particles. So 100 minus 28.5% gives you what is called as 71.5% of particles are your coarse grain particles. And out of this coarse grain particles, which are said to be 71.5%, how much percentage of gravel particles are there? So percentage of gravel. So what is the percentage of particles which are finer than your 4.75 mm sieve? It is 98% of the particles are finer than your 4.75 mm sieve. It means that percentage of particles which are larger than your 4.75 mm, which we call it as your gravel, is 2%. So out of 71.5% of coarse grain particles, 2% of the particles are your gravel particles. So remaining particles are nothing but your sand particles. So what is your percentage of sand particles? 71.5 minus 2, which is 69.5% of the particles are your sand particles, and remaining are nothing but percentage of fine particles, which is 28.5%. Okay, so first what I understand is the major proportion in this particular soil is coarse grain soil, and in that coarse grain soil also, which is the major proportion, is it gravel or sand? It is here sand. My first letter in that symbol representation is indicated with sand. Yes. Second letter is going to be governed either from your gradation curve or from the plasticity chart. Now, what is the percentage of fines? It is 28.5%. It means the percentage of fine grained particles in that soil is greater than 12%. So my second letter comes from your plasticity chart. Now, how do I understand what should be the second letter? So the second letter, what we are going to be getting from the plasticity chart, depends on two things. One is the liquid limit value. What is the liquid limit value of the soil? It is 33.2%. So according to unified soil classification system, liquid limit value less than 50% is low compressible. But however, that second letter getting it as low compressible or high compressible is going to be seen only in the case if the soil is completely governed by your fine grain proportion. But that is not the case here. So second letter do not generally come with what is called as low compressible or high compressible. So not just looking at your liquid limit data. So what I should be now understanding is the plasticity index value. So what is my plasticity index value of this particular soil? The plasticity index PI is nothing but liquid limit minus the plastic limit value. Liquid limit is 33.2% minus the plastic limit is 22.6%. So from this, we get the plasticity index value to be 10.6%. So the plasticity index value of that soil is 10.6% and the liquid limit value of that soil is 33.2%. So when this particular point is mapped on your plasticity chart, whether that point falls below the A line or on or above the A line is what we need to understand. So in this particular case, if this point is plotted on your standard plasticity chart, we get that particular point falling above the A line. You just try to map it on your plasticity chart and check it. So it comes above the A line. So if it is coming above the A line, then above the A line, we categorize it as clay. So the symbol what we use for indicating or classifying this particular soil comes with the first letter S and the second letter as C. So this particular soil is what I can call it as clayey sand. Okay, so that's how you go on to categorize it. So that particular soil, according to the unified soil classification system, is going to be classified as clayey sand. Okay, so with this, we'll stop our discussion and we conclude that this is the end of your first unit. That's nothing but the characterization of soils. So in today's lecture, what we have talked about is how are we going to be classifying your soil based on your Indian standard soil classification system is what we have looked at in this particular lecture.